Hello YouTube, this is Registered Exploit and we're going to be doing block from TryHackMe, which is a challenge I created that's all about SMB decryption. So the challenge starts, we are given a PCAP file that has some traffic. The scenario is that some ex-employees used their credentials because they weren't deactivated to steal some private files, and it's up to us to figure out exactly what they stole. But the traffic is encrypted, so we have to find a way to decrypt it and see exactly what was taken. So there are two particular steps to this challenge. One is easier than the other, and I'll show both. And it pretty much comes down to some knowledge of Wireshark and some small Google food that talks about this blog that pretty much shows you how you can decrypt the traffic. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. So I already have the file downloaded. So we just have to unzip it, and we have LSAS done, which is basically this contains the hashes for the users. If you were not sure, that's just a quick Google search, and then we have the traffic. So what is the LSAS Windows? So the local security authority subsystem is a process that is responsible for enforcing security policies, verifies users logging onto the Windows computer or servers, and password changes, access tokens. So in short, we can extract user hashes from here, the NTLM hashes, which will come in handy. But for now, let's just look at the Wireshark traffic. So lots of SMB. Right, a lot of SMB right off the bat, and that's pretty much all there's to it. You can kind of follow it, but it's not a lot. First thing you notice is the first user, packet 11, and real man, and they log into a share called clients, and right after that you just see a bunch of encrypted packets. So can't really see what they took. Then shortly after, packet 82, we see another user called eShellstrap. Also accesses the same share, and then it's encrypted. And that's pretty much it. That's all we see, right? So it's very short, all SMB. If you're curious about who Realman and eShellstrap are, I just kept that open. Realman and eShellstrap. See if it comes out. No. So they're based on Michael Realman and Eleanor Shellstrap, which are characters from The Good Place. Very good show, highly recommended. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So if you were, if you were stuck here, didn't know what to do, you could have chosen SMB decryption. You could have done Wireshark or without, but either way, it'll all lead you to the same Google. Actually, there's two posts here. One, and I think it's this one. It's a couple of other things. I think it's this one that they're talking. No, it's not that one. But anyway, this is pretty much it, right? Encrypting SMB traffic with just a PCAP, maybe from over 3 years ago. A little over 3 years ago. Essentially, they have PCAP. They're trying to decrypt it. They talk about what we need, the session key, right? And the session ID, they try to input it, doesn't work, this funny little thing. Then they eventually run into this article of a user trying to do it, right? Then they get a bit of an answer, and then they tell you exactly all the info that you need. They try to crack the hash. You could also try it this way, recreating the NTLM v2 hash, but it's easier with the LSAS. And then you have the script that also it happens to be a GitHub gist, and then you can encrypt it. And that's pretty much it. So it goes over a lot. So let me not close this. We're going to need this, particularly here. But now that we know what we need, let's focus on getting some of these hashes, right? So first thing we're gonna do is, so for this, I'm actually gonna do Pypykatz. I'm gonna do, actually I'm gonna call it Docker run, because I'm gonna use Docker for this. You could also, whenever I'm dealing with Python tools, you can particularly, you can particularly use a virtual environment. I like to use Docker, which is my preference, because Python, a lot of weird things can happen. Pretty easy to install, right? It's just like MiCap for Python. So let's go ahead and do this. So first I'm going to create my Docker file. And I'm going to do from, and the reason why I like doing this is, another reason why I like doing Docker is because I can play with the different, my worker is going to go PyPy. I can play with the different settings. You know, like, I mean, I can play with the different Python versions. So if this version doesn't work, I just go one down until I find one that works. So I think I need, where to go? Where is it? There we go. So we could do pip3, but I think just pip here works. Pip install Pypykatz. And then this one. And these are the commands that we're going to use. I could have just done it in the same line, but I like to keep them separate. So now we're going to do sudo docker build -t pypy. You call it whatever you want. You call it like whatever, but I'm going to do pypy. I'm going to build it here. It's going to take some time. And, oh, right. Gotta copy it on my work directory. That's gonna build, then I'm gonna run it, and then I'm gonna execute it. Just gonna have this document ready, exec, ti. This is gonna be 2 characters, just don't know what they'll be yet. And that will hopefully give us the hashes that we need, right? Let's see here. And please don't integrate as part of your product beta. That's funny. Recall. So lots of fun uses for this. And as you can see here, you need Python 3.6 and greater. Otherwise it will fail. Aha. So then now we do sudo docker run, and it is td to attach pypy. We could do the whole thing. I'm just going to do the first 2. And there we go. So Pypykatz, I think is LSA mini dump. LSAS? Yeah, there we go. So here, let's do mreal, can't spell, mrealman. There we go. We got a hash, right? The shell strap, we have another hash. So just to save time, the each shell strap, it's impossible to crack. It's very, very strong password. I chose it that way. If you're able to crack it, then you are a Hashcat master. Random letters, numbers, and characters. So definitely tough. You know, if you have the time to spare, you have a super awesome cracking station, by all means go for it, you know, because then you'll skip pretty much all of the challenge, and I'll show you why. So let's do and I'll show you, but I'm not gonna really spend time on it. Shell struct, so I'm gonna need this later. So let's do Hashcat. There. Just would rock you. It cracked 1. B44. That's not eShellstrap. That's mrealman. The other one did not crack. So hashcatting. So how do we decrypt it? I only need the password for this part, which is right here, right? So if we go back, we could follow this, get all the info that we need, and use the script that they provided to get this. It's a lot of extra steps. I don't like it. I only want to do this once. So the way I actually found it, decrypt, I was searching around different ways to decrypt stuff and found this little article, how to decrypt Kerberos. This really doesn't have much to do with our challenge. It talks about how to decrypt Kerberos, is a whole nother thing. It could be a fun challenge. I'll look into it. But, well, I'll look more into it. But I stumbled upon this NTLM decryption, where we just go to the preferences and enter the password. So why not? So let's do that. So if you're there, right? Right now, if we try to export any SMB, it does not exist. So let's do edit, preferences, protocols, and right there. Enter it. Why not? And if we start from real man, we start seeing decrypted, and we start seeing some files. So let's go ahead and export. We have a file here. Save it right where we need it, and extracted. I think it's 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we have the flag somewhere in there. I won't show it. See, we have first name, last name, password, and somewhere in there, if you read the whole file, is the flag. So we extracted it. Easy, right? We got 1 down. So let's now do the other one. So for that one, we do need this block, and we need a couple things, right? First, let's find it. So if you were stuck here, you could have just followed this blog link, but you could also look session key calculator, GitHub. And the funny thing is, I made a copy of that. There's 2 repos. This is the original one. No, right here. I showed this one on the blog as well. I also have this one that I kind of, copied, and then I just added either password, so the password converts it to a hash, or just the hash, right? So you could use either one. On the blog, I show how to do this one. Here, I'm gonna use mine, and I hope it works, because it'll be embarrassing. Random session key. Now, I need Python 2 for this. So I'm going to copy dockerfile .1, and let's see, I need to set up my environment. So first thing is I need Python 2 version. Let's do 0.7.18 slim stretch, and you go to like Docker Python 2, the official image. You'll get a bunch of different, see? So all the way share tags. These are all the different versions that you could use. Very handy. So there's Python 2 if you need Python 2. So very handy stuff. So let's go ahead and do some stretch, yeah. So this one, I'm just gonna call it not PyPy, SMB. And I need PyCrypto Domex. Run pip install PyCrypto Domex. If you don't know what to install, you can always install right from the Docker container. I think that's everything. Yeah, alright, so we will do that next. Let's see, Actually, we should start building it. Sudo build, call it SMB. Alright, let's see if it works. It's gone. And now we do run SMB. Yeah, alright. And now we're gonna do sudo docker exec ti, forgot the e4 bash. You know, I forgot to copy the code. Don't have BI in here? No. It's okay. Just exit. Just run it again. So let's see. BI decode. Yeah, let's do that. Docker file. Copy decode. Call it SMB2. I wonder if I could rebuild it. There you go. Yeah, just rebuild it. And now we run it. 7A. Yeah, there we go. So if we do Python 2, there we go. So user, domain, password, hash, NT proof string. So we need these things. And for that, pretty easy to find. Kind of hints at you where to find it. Not hints, but it does show you. So the domain, the username, the LTM response, right here, the server challenge. That was to build that hash. But if we go back up, let's see. No, I thought it showed it here. Down here somewhere. Somewhere in here he has the empty proof string. Let's see. Somewhere in there. Because these are the session keys. But yeah, session key, session ID, which we will need. That's fine. Just find it ourselves. So for that, we need to go to the user that we're targeting right here. Right? So right here we go to SMB2. Go to so let's see. Is it session? Yeah, session setup, security blob. Right? And then you just gonna have to play around. So neg token arc, and till secure service provider. There we go. So we have the domain name, which is work group, and e shell strap. So let's start typing these out in the code. So we have e shell strap, right? You know, I should just copy it. E shell strap. Have domain, which is work group. Hash, we have that. There we go. Have hash, and now we need let's see, the NT proof string. And that's coming up right here, I think. Yeah, there it is. Copy value. And we need the encrypted session key, which is, believe, right around here. You close this right there. Using session. This is the encrypted session key. See if this works. Let's see, domain. Knew my thing wouldn't work. Proof string, dash key. I forgot what the dash B is. Verbose. That's probably just a weird thing in the code that I need a dash B. Not sure why I put it there. But this is, yeah, this is what we need. So let's go ahead, and if you're curious about the original one, and I showed this on the blog, you just have to fix this part of the code to ignore creating the end-to-end hash and just take the hash as is, right? So let's go ahead and random, actually, yeah, I think this is part of the original one. If I look at it verbose, I think you have to run it with it. Anyway, so we have the random session key, right? Now we also need the session ID, which this is one of them, but if you go, and I don't think this shows you, this blog, it does show you, but not exactly where they got it, as far as I know. See, there's a session ID here. So it looks like they sort of get it from one of these. So right underneath the user, where did you go? So if you go here, yeah, okay. Sorry, it is one of there. You also could have gotten it from one of the encrypted packets right here. So never mind, it's then corrected. So let's go ahead and get it. But you notice it on the blog as well. See how it ends here, the FFE? If you look how they input it, it's little endian, the swap endianness, I mean. And you can actually see it right here on the right hand side. It's a little backwards. So if you don't want to go through the trouble, it's going to copy this value. Can I just get the value itself? No. So you go little endian calculator. I think is this one? Yeah. And you go big endian to little endian. And there we go. So now let's go ahead and finish it up. So I believe this block tells you also where to go. I could be wrong. No, it's okay. Just a little bit of, actually it does, just up above. Where this is, so this is in preferences, SMB2. Preferences, so back where we were, all the way down to SMB2, where is it? Edit. So, session ID. I think I still have it. Yeah. And now the session key, decrypted session key, which I wish there we go. Okay. Hit OK. And we have, it's decrypted, right? Right under, wait, oh, I went back up. Right under shell strap, if you scroll down, it's decrypted right here. If you didn't get it right, it will still show as encrypted. And we see, do we see another? We see another file, right? Shout out to my brother here. This is one of his favorite numbers, 978, random, but he's always used it. So I wanted to include that there. So let's export this one, and there we go. Save it. And we're gonna do the same thing. There we go. And we have extracted both our files. So we have successfully pretty much decrypted, and we now showed exactly what the ex-employees took and what passwords they use. Well, at least one password they use, but at least now we have concrete proof on which so-called clients were affected, and the next steps from there, just remediation. But I had a lot of fun coming up with this challenge. It really started when I was curious about SMB decryption, and I found this blog. I did not do this challenge personally, but I thought it was interesting to try to recreate it. I noticed it didn't cover how to just decrypt using the password. I found this while doing the research for this challenge, and I thought that was very nice. I originally only had you decrypt it using the NTLM hash, but then once I saw that you could use a password for simple decryption, I recreated the challenge using two ways. And I do wonder how many users did it the hard way twice, because you can do it with the hard way twice, right, with both hashes. But I wanted to show that you don't have to. There's an easy way and then there's a hard way. I wanted to show both. So if you did it both the hard way, now you know there's an easy way as long as you have the password. So feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.